Well, hello and welcome. I'm here with Andrej Benovic from Lenovo, Slovakia, and I cannot be more excited to chat with you a little bit. We're, of course, talking about our upcoming Cultural Global Labs event in Lecce, Italy in June. And Andrej, you have had experience with our Andrej. I guess we share him now because you use him quite frequently, but Andrej Uriga, also from Slovakia, has been a part of your team's development. Can you share a little bit about your background and what you do and how you got connected with Andrej?
All right, so hello everybody. It's a pleasure to be part of this conference through this video. But first of all, Kirk, I thought it's our Andrej, and you're gonna use his skills in your conference. So
Point taken.
Okay. Well, I work as a talent development manager in Lenovo in Slovakia with several hundreds people. And so if you ask how Andrej got here, well, within my duties is to deliver training. So I'm also a trainer, but also I want to bring in interesting content from outside for our company because I can't do everything on my own. And then one day, Andrej was recommended. The topic sounded interesting, and so we invited him for testing, which we always do. And this is where it becomes tough for many people because they have to face the audience, and if it would be me, one person inviting Andrej, I would invite him because he's a very nice person, warmth of this personality and how we can talk about this. He did the workshop, the testing workshop, and it was like people said, like, yeah, we want to see more from this guy. So,
And to be
like
and to be clear, Andrej, that's a tough sell for you because you are the trainer evaluating the trainer.
Thank you for noticing that. Yes, and it's also very hard for me to hear all the positive feedback after like dozens of workshops Andrej have done here over years with our employees. I can tell you that I'm so proud that we can bring him in. But it is difficult for me to I want that feedback he gets as a trainer, right?
Well, I suspect you do get that because you were smart enough to know that there's a time and a place to bring in an outside source for content that might be received slightly differently because it's somebody who's not directly a part of your team. Although you described the work environment to me earlier in our conversation, he kind of just comes into your work area, an open office environment, and just flows. And he's now connected with the team in a very natural way, almost as if he's literally part of the team, right?
Absolutely. Well, when he comes in, we're going to discuss like a couple of weeks. We discussed about a new development program we plan to do on inclusion. I have to lock myself with him into a meeting room because when we sit in an open space, there are always people like, hey, hello, Andrej. They want to shake hands. They want to say how he's doing. So, yeah, I mean, people like to see him and they recall him. They remember him, not only him.
Yes, I think we also agreed on this earlier. Not only does Andrej deliver great content and really knows his topic, diversity and inclusion, multicultural workforces, all that stuff, but Andrej's just a great person. He's just a guy you want to be around. He's just a really wonderful human being. Well, tell me about some of the key takeaways, either for you or some of your team, as you've had Andrej come in on repeated occasions now. Talk to me about some of the key takeaways.
Okay. Well, my personal takeaways were several aha moments. What I mean by that is that when I listened to the content, and this may sound basic to somebody, but I was like really shocked with how many stereotypes I still have, how many things about diversity and inclusion. And I thought I know, I worked 15 years in corporations. There were diversity programs. I find out I don't understand it at all. And the topic was on for many years. So Andrej brought this broader perspective to me. It's a little bit painful because you think you come from a diverse perspective and you or an environment. You think, I know this also. Let's hear what this guy has to say. But opposite is different. Like you still learn a lot in here, and this is the advantage with Andrej because every time you meet him, you'll learn that he brings something new and he's adjusting the content as he grows. I know him for 4 years now, right? If
Right.
He was 4 years ago in a conference, you go and see him in the conference, he's going to bring something else. I'm sure with that.
Fresh content. And the way I like to describe what you were talking about earlier, Andrej, is Andrej speaks to my blind spots. And I'm intellectually aware that I have them, but I don't realize how profound they are until I see someone speak to them. And I don't think it's a statement of weakness for either one of us. I think it's a statement of strength that you can put yourself in a perspective where you continue to grow as a leader. I think that's a powerful statement about you and your commitment to your team. Some of your team members, any key takeaways without necessarily being specific about an individual, but any key comments that you've received from your team members?
Okay, so now the team members. So first, very interesting thing is that imagine that if Andrej would run his training or workshop in January, and I will gather feedback in September after the development program is over. People still recall what they have learned and
Hmm.
what they're using, how they changed their mindset, or how they literally changed their behavior. So many of them, what I hear very often, and this is what I think is the most important, with the information they learn about themselves and others, they become more patient.
Hmm.
They have less fear to meet with other cultures in a conferences or conf calls or whatever. They can cooperate better with their boss. Some of them tell me like, I try to be more open with other people because I understand they want that information about me. Um,
There's
very
a couple of things you said, Andre, that I want to make sure I touch on. Some really profound components of that. It enhances someone's enjoyment of their job and the place that they work. But what people sometimes miss is it's not just soft skills or not just feel good stuff. If
no.
they are enhanced in their ability to communicate more effectively with different people within the organization, it enhances retention for Lenovo. It enhances job satisfaction. It enhances productivity if people like their jobs and feel equipped to do their jobs more effectively. And of course, communication is one of the ways in which things break down within an organization.
I absolutely agree with you. Imagine if just one manager out of 10 gets the message. The change is like spreading. So, but I think we have a higher ratio. I think there's a lot of eye openers Andrej brings, and we have very senior staff, managers with 20, 30 years of experience, and they still would go to his workshop after being 30 years in corporations. So that tells me something like it's still very, very important topic.
Well,
And yeah, I mean,
I did a similar interview with a woman from Amazon Slovakia, and now I'm talking with you from Lenovo Slovakia. These are major corporations that would not incur the expense if they didn't see value.
yeah, I also can tell you that Andrej is very popular here because we have very, very many services centers in Slovakia. So I believe that many people know him. But so that's just what I want to say. It's not only Lenovo, which is in Slovakia, but he's training small, big companies, and he does
Yes,
a lot of work for students and other organizations. I know
nonprofits.
outside, absolutely a lot.
Yes.
That's a huge part of his work and his development.
So tell me, Andre, what you might say to someone who's considering our conference in Lecce in June and must maybe considering a workshop with Andre. Tell me what you would say to somebody if they called you up or sent you an email asking your perspective on whether or not they should attend or convince their company to send people to attend.
Well, first of all, if you're ready to have these to experience these aha moments, if you're ready to find out that you maybe don't know everything, so go there definitely. If you want to meet a person who is a amazing personality and the knowledge, I'd say I'm not sure if we have more people in Europe like Andre is. I'm not able to say if it's US, but in Europe, I don't know. I would have heard about them. Okay. And so it's the experience of the person. And I'm sure that if you don't have enough from the content, what he brings to the conference, you'll ask him, he'll bring it further with you. He can give you more outside. So he's very cooperative, very willing to bring things further. That
Seth
is my
Godin.
recommendation.
Seth Godin has a phrase, and he likes to see people who put themselves in places and under experiences where they can level up. And I don't think he coined the phrase. Obviously, it's a common phrase, but he uses it repeatedly. And I think that's what you get with Andre. You give the opportunity to level up as a leader, as a manager, or as a team member.
Absolutely. And doesn't matter if you're like 25 or 55. Uh, there's still interesting contents. I think that if he goes to the conference, it must be a good conference. It's not only because of him, but I think he would not join an event which is not bringing the quality and doesn't have the spirit and values which he
I really
is.
appreciate that comment. And I think if you met the rest of our panelists that are going to be speaking there, you would be equally impressed with them in their own specific areas of expertise. You made a comment when we were chatting earlier about Andre's approachability after the event, that people can reach out to him directly. And I think that's a powerful statement about who he is as a trainer and more as a person.
He lives the topic. He's not going to talk about work hours in this one. He lives that. He's going to think about it. He's going to come back to you and answer your questions.
Well,
if you
Andre, I can't thank you enough for your time today. I do want to go on record as saying I'm recording this on a Lenovo X1 Carbon, so I'm doing my part to support Lenovo here in the States. Uh, brilliant sharing of your experience with Andre. We're excited to have him at Cultural Global Labs in June in Lecce, Italy, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate your time this morning.
absolutely was a pleasure, and all the best. Fingers crossed for the conference.
Thank you very much.